loves. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope. Wow, why can I can't Lena link gets again nervous. Anyway, I hope you get. Wow, there it goes again. Anyway, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys had an amazing day and are still having an evening a long imo. Ne. Let's not forget today it's Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Welcome back to those people who had subscribed before, and to the first timers, guys. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And yeah, I really thank you for joining me. Go Moments with Jade. Yes. So guys, I'm going to be reading my questions from my journal. I wrote the questions down because my phone is for filming, so I couldn't read my questions from my phone. So I have 31 questions. Some very touching, some very fun to answer, some how ma 2000 guys linketsang motho a re kwa nna favorite taste yay nna ha ke jile wait ebile a ke itse kore ke krele ke tlhakatlhakane to a point where I actually asked hore what do you mean, elaborate. You lemorile wait, but let's get on to it. All right. The first question is, oh yes, before I forget, I think I had mentioned before that I'm going to read out your questions without your names because I've had people telling me and whatnot, and I respect that. And also, I did not ask for consent from you guys to read out your names. So no, I'm not going to be reading out anybody's name. So I'll just read the question, give the answer, and go to the next one. I'm hoping we're going to have fun with this. The first question says, how does it feel to finally be Dr. Ngwejana in a few months? Bonang, au nyiwe. That's the answer. Aho nyiweng. Look, I am very happy. I'm excited. Kuri. Man, it's just a feeling, it's overwhelming, it's joyous, in any happiness, in any independence, in any bon, everything. Yonkinto in one, right? Now, you hear people every time saying the world is your oyster. What? Now I'm feeling it. Kore no ke phela sephesale man ke phela hore la ntlhalohanya ke fitlile di leveling bathong ba ka ke fitlile. I'm so happy and I'm grateful, of course. I mean, I've been in the school business and it's been tiring, but hey, we're doing well this side and I'm very excited. I hope I'll come back one day and then get on my first day at work. Yeah, amazing, without frustrations. I get, because we don't know what it is that I'm going to find when I go out there, but I'm really looking forward to it. So the next question, it says, tips on how to finish BDS, which is Bachelor of Dental Surgery, in record time. Look, obanana. Like le I get a look over raw and honest. Like nah, I get a bad guys. Never. I don't do that. If I feel that I'm not confident enough to go and write, I don't write. If I feel like, look, sick test mo in necessary, sick test simply because I need to pass. I'm here to pass, not to please a lecturer who every day can wala test the no, sweetheart, no. Tifi story patalang. Kita how chalate iro away. So if you feel that you're not confident to write a test on a particular date, move it to another day, man. Why stress yourself? Also, don't make it a habit. At one point in time, I did, but it was mostly because I was in the SRC and I was mostly very busy meetings and solving people's problems and all these things. So they usually used to chow my time. So I'd write sick tests. But the gist of it is that if you're not ready, if you're not confident, just don't go and write. Because I mean, I don't understand why kinane chance ya hore ke kry 90 ke tsamaye ko kry 50. Like as students, I know you'd understand, because there's always competition, which is a healthy one. I mean, you also want to better yourself. When somebody gets a 90, you're like, yo, wow, if she could do it, I can do it as well. Why not do it? So yeah, I'd always feel hore na if I get ready I can mal, and I'd decide in the morning. Like, I'd be studying throughout, but in the morning when I feel hore, if I ask myself a question and I don't know the answer to the question, sorry, and I ask myself another one with regards to the scope, then during the day, I campus healthy, note, or I just go off campus and consult. I'm asthmatic, so I can post and story asthmatic, anxiety here and there. So I used to do that a lot, simply because I really pride myself with getting good marks, and yeah, that's just how I feel. Also, the other thing is you hear people telling you most of the time, "Hore, study smart, not hard." I always feel that you need to do both. The reason I feel you need to do both is I can't distinguish between studying hard and studying smart. Smart king, hard king. So if you bring the two together, then you know you'll be able to make it. Um, that's about it. I think that's the mantra that I used to go with. Like study both hard and smart. But if you feel wabona hore itse ka boshu question paper tla be le mo pelaka and then nna ha ke itse ke tlo ireng o sa ya, baby girl, don't stress yourself. Baby boy, don't stress yourself, just don't go. Simple. Write it on a different day mo leng hore you know for a fact or on this particular day how ana tla be ke le set tla be ke itse what I'm writing. On to the third question. It says, ooh, wow, what's the story behind the tattoo on your calf? And do you want to get more tattoos in the future? Okay, guys, kubala link peng tutorial on how to insert pictures there where it shows if I'm saying, for example, the tattoo. I'm gonna speak about the tattoo that most of you guys don't know. If I get to find a way to insert a picture, I will. But the gist of it is that the tattoo on my calf is an anchor and a date underneath. So here's the story. In 2019, I lost my father, right? My dad was admitted to hospital on the 28th of April in 2019, I get. And then he was in hospital for quite some time. He went there, and my dad was diabetic. So diabetes is something I despise a lot, to be honest. And every time I see a person who's diabetic, I start to because whoever loves that person, whoever holds that person dear to their hearts and whatnot, is going to lose them. And it's not a pretty thing. It's not a pretty sight at all. So my dad went to hospital on the 28th of April, and he went for a surgical procedure. It didn't go well. It really didn't go well at all. And then he ended up in ICU for a while. And then on the 31st of May, he passed on. Now, the date that's beneath or below my anchor is the 31st May 2019. And that is the date where my life took a turn, 360-degree turn. Now, this guy grounded me. Almost everything that is cookie kentatora. Guys, when they say girl children and their fathers have like certain relationship, it's true. We really do. Nala Papaka, we had so much chemistry. Like, we'd go shopping together and people claim Rajola. Like, dude, like that. That was me and that man. So when he died, I felt so off-put. Like, salobana train itula mo sporong, isa itso itsa maemo kae. Kuri, I was powerless. I was angry. I was hurt. I was in shambles. I was everything. When everything a bed, nilena. I slipped into a minor form of depression where I felt like my world was ending. From time to time, I'd feel like some overwhelming loneliness. I would feel like the world does not deserve me anymore. I'd feel like can I just go and be with my dad, buried in the same spot? Do you understand? Like, it was just a mess. So that was what inspired my tattoo. The fact that I told myself one day, look, the person that grounds you is no longer around. But you need to stay anchored. Like, you need to stay strong. You need to be steadfast. You need to understand hore with loss, it does not mean o stopamo. Ne. It might hurt you, it might break you, it might have shattered your heart, but you move. Auna chance, like auna choice, evil. There's nothing you can do about it, really. I prayed time and time and time again, hore God, kupala umuse. I like it's not time yet. It really was not time. And I blamed God for the longest time. Even excited again, guys. Because I could not understand, hore, how do I ask for comfort from the person that hurt me? You take my world. Do you understand? Like, for me, it was yo. So yeah, that's what inspired the tattoo on my calf. The fact that today I can wake up and smile. And I'm one person, ne? I'm not very strong. Like I'm strong outside, ne? But when I come back into my own space, I'm like a little furball. Like I cocoon out. Look, bona, hackily in my own space, I'm me. I can cry, I can break things, I can do whatever, So the anchor is just to say to me, look, remain grounded, remain rooted. Without this person, you still move. Whether he's with you physically, me that is, physically or not, I still need to move. I still need to find my feet. I still need to walk the earth. My mileage is not completed as of yet. And seeing that mileage waka, so that anchor was just to say, remain grounded. You have lost but you need to make something out of it. You need to make something out of yourself. Papa, you're a strong person. Maybe God figured you're ready to be by yourself. I don't know how these things work, and I'm not willing to understand it. He's mine, borrowed or not, but so that's why I have an anchor. And the date is the date of his passing because it hurt me. It had an impact on my life. I mean, his birth date had an impact on my life because he birthed me. But hey, him going away eternally on a specific date was worse. So yeah, that's what happened, and that's why I ended up with a tattoo. And to date, whenever I feel I'm down or whatever, I just go to his grave and I have a conversation with him. I have a lot of conversations with my dad. Even in my room, I have a lot of conversations with my dad. Like, I just take the picture behind me of him and run a conversation, and then we'll have like a certain conversation. Of course, I'll ask him questions and have a conversation with him, and I'll even answer myself the way he'd answer me back in the day when he was still around. So yeah. And the thing with my dad is that, look guys, everything, literally everything. The lazy person that you've met, which is me, is because of this man. Every single thing. I would say, I think you guys would know, I don't carry heavy stuff, and that is not my portion in life. It's that man. Because this would need a separate session, because if I talk about Papa, I can fade. But the point is, I love him, and he really threw me off. His passing was not one that I took very lightly or kindly. And today, I still bash God from time to time, and stuff. But yeah, that's what inspired it. And it says, do you want to get more tattoos in the future? Of course. I have another one here. I don't know. I can't put it like that because you won't be able. I'd have to move out of the camera. But it says, still I rise. And also this is in relation to the one on my calf. The reason I still I rise is that, look, this is one thing that really broke me. That year, neke quality test ke fail, like it's not like if you're okay. I got my home, so it's whatever. And then my mom sat me down and she was like, hey. That's number one. Number two, you're not gonna stop living just because. My mom also does not have parents. And hey, for some odd reason, that woman is just a very strong woman. Eh? So she would, she'd sit me down and say these things, words of encouragement and whatnot. So I'm glad to say most of my becoming is from my mom ever since my dad's passing. Look, I had a more closer relationship with my dad than I did with my mom until he passed on. Then it shifted on to this other side. So she was the one who'd always say, look, Nana, pick yourself up. You need to continue. Your dad, dentist. So all failure, we expect to So I'd sit sometimes, think about it. And at the very beginning, I'd always feel like I what I feel. Therefore, I'll do things my way. I tried therapy, it did not work. I tried this and that, it did not work. Eventually, I had to tell myself, okay, really, really now, you need to step up. You need to start working. You need to start living. You need to start doing this and that. Then I realized also in the process, I always postponed my happiness for later on, to a point where I'd be like, no, but I'll do it with my dad and my mom when I start working. So I am definitely going to get more. I want a music note. I want something there on my foot and all those things. But yes, 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 I'm going to get more. Question number 4 says, why is it that the government is not prioritizing dental? And what could be the issue? All right. I feel like ikwala test ya dental public health. Ka question eh. And motho teng o irile BDT ne. So, wow. All right. Why is the government not prioritizing? Okay, first of all, I don't think the government has enough information on oral health. Ne? That's number 1. It's a very small space, but it affects a lot in the human body. Now, the reason why I feel that they don't prioritize, and the reason why I'm saying it's because they don't have information, I believe that even your medical doctors, really, they do not really understand the essence and the relationship your oral cavity has with the rest of your body. I mean, guys, a body is a system. I get it works together. Your different organs work together, So one system does not work in isolation while the other does in isolation on the other side. No. Everything is related. So I feel the government does not understand dentistry. One, they don't have in-depth information, which I also feel they don't make it a point to seek it. The other thing is I feel that they also have that mentality or as a dentist, your focus is just the 32 teeth and nothing more. And that is not true. We do a lot more than just focusing on 32 teeth. Diagnosis, most of the time your infections would show in the oral cavity. And that is why the doctor title is also attached to dentists, So I feel that's the reason why they don't prioritize dentistry at all, because they don't understand it. I mean, you see people smiling in parliament. One, they have calculus. They also don't understand what calculus is. As old as you are, I don't understand how that happens. But I would also assume, there are people who grew up not knowing that they are dentists. There are people who grew up not understanding why calculus forms and whatnot. So this makes it seem as though as you grow up, there's a cement that forms around your teeth and blah, blah, blah. But I don't think it's true that in the day and age that we're living in now, I mean, we have almost everybody using a smartphone. Almost everybody has an access to Google and whatnot. I feel sometimes people are just idle-minded. I feel sometimes people are misinformed, not because they want to be misinformed or anything like that, but because they're also lazy to go and venture out and find out, about certain things that are going on in their bodies and about certain things that are going on in their surroundings. And I really adore the work that is done by the community dentistry department, especially when it comes to taking information out there, ensuring that people are clued up, ensuring that people understand, the mouth as well. And it's not just seen as just a source of eating or an organ that is just used for eating. You brush your teeth and you move on with your life. No, it doesn't work like that. There's a lot more complexities that come with it. And I hope I answered your question, my friend. Question number 5. What is your take on black text? Where does one draw the line? Is there even a line to be drawn? Guys, wait a minute. Black text, I get the reason is that with most of what I've heard from people, I mean, I have conversations that is so most of the time. I'm a very engaging person. I mean, I'm political, like a lot, So yeah, I'd have such conversations. My take on black text is that, okay, first let's start it like this. Growing up, I always felt hore somebody else. Alright? And as you grow up, on a bit more mature, it's not that it's a form of assistance. Right? So I've gotten to a point where I realized, okay, it's a form of assistance, not that everything should be shared on you, like everything, like all the weight must now move from one person to you. Okay, that's my take on black text now, how it's supposed to be centered around. Now, I have a mother, ne, who is a firm believer, when I start working, kira dilo tsaka, isn't high. Do you understand? Now, with that, it teaches me, or it tells me that there won't be so much burden on me. Now, some parents don't think like that. Some parents will tell you, therefore, Mama Kwaito, for example, guys, I'm not a big fan, Yaskim Samne. But every time I find myself in a situation where maybe somebody's watching and I'm around, that woman is always pressurizing the poor child, because double story ning, and you see, that for me, that is a problem. Because I feel kanako ya hao no etsang ho faded to a point where now you must force things down people's throats. Say long what is supposed to be building his own house. He probably wants a wife. He wants a car. He wants a lavish life. He wants to live. When does he start living? Let's not do that. And I hope parents out there are not going to shove things down your throat and force you to do this and that. It does not work like that. Back to my mom. Now, my mother is a firm believer. Look, you working for you starting your own life. And hotoma your own life, it means you're going to need a house, you're going to need this, you're going to need that. All that requires money. Yes, you can do things for her out of your own will, but it's not something that you're forced to do. Ne? So my take on black text is that it's up to you whether you want to do it or not. And if you don't want to do it as well, it's fine. I mean, somebody else. Otherwise, I'm not saying you guys must go and now revolt and say, no, guys. You are allowed to help, and it should be okay for you to help. I mean, I also help from time to time, and I'm the big sister, and my little brother, Ratwan, Ratari. So when he has something that he wants, he'd literally just say, Sesi, kupala, what, and I don't mind doing it. I don't even see it as black text most of the time. Okay, Manokai wants that, and I'm able to do it for him, or I'm able to give it to him. Why not? With regards to where does one draw the line, I think this is a conversation that whenever you're faced with such a situation, it's a conversation you have respectfully so with whoever is your parent or guardian or whatever. If you have both your parents, like I don't have both my parents anymore, with your parent, you tell them, Horbona, I've spent this amount of time doing this. Now it's my time to branch out and do my own thing. When do you expect me to do my own thing? You didn't manage. Can I not be like you? I don't choose to be like you. Maybe that's why I went to tertiary or whatnot. Can you please allow me space to grow? Can you please allow me space to be me? Can you please allow me space? I will help you, definitely. But please, do not shove things down my throat. Double story. Zone 17 or and every time I watch an episode where that happens, I get very mad. I think it's because my mom is not that type of person. But of course, script, it's not necessary for me to be mad at her. But I'm human. I get mad. There we go. So yeah, I think that's just how it goes. Some families are very big on black text because they really have nothing. And there's one person, Oba Molebeletse Mora, this is the person that's going to take us out of poverty. But one thing that I can tell you guys is that poverty ya kohenu e ka se ka one day, ne? And that not being able to be done or outdone in one day is something that needs to always be at the back of your mind. How no o ka poverty ya kohenu ka one day. Unless of course you're a billionaire, then offer 1 billion look bolang and then the rest of is yours. Then it's fine. But if you like me, or billionaire yet or even a millionaire, it's going to be very, very difficult. So I always feel step by step. Prioritize. If I at this point in time I need to have built a house for myself, and then we also need to have a nice house built and whatnot. Drop a plan, drop a plan, draw up a set of goals that you want to achieve. Horbon, at this point in time I should have achieved this and that and this and that. Have your siblings help you, have your mom help you, parents, if both are there, have them help you, being on the side and say, look, so and so that even you on the side, you'll be able to achieve what you want to achieve. You'll be able to actually see your things pan out the way you want them to pan out. They may be delayed a bit because you're helping others, but at least make sure that you see them come true. Ne? That's just my take on the whole black text thing. Question 6. When did you and your BF meet? Yee, guys, there's a whole story around that. Ne? I've always been a naughty child. Ne? But naughty e sharp, like naughty e yabana e pila. So nale boyfriend taga, we met in 2010. Ne? Neketlo registara, so did he. It was actually on registration day. What happened was that they called us Rensamo. I get it. People who medunsa SMU, UL, you'd know it. Sports complex, usually they put chairs in rows like that. So batla more residential area, more like a financial area, more like a what, So Neroko residential area. And my mom was still queuing for something else somewhere. My dad was queuing for something else somewhere. So I happened to be queuing for the residential area. Sorry. While that was happening, we were called by one of the rest managers. We gathered around the guy. We were like 5,000. Well, okay, that's an exaggeration. We were like around 500-ish. We gather around the guy. So the guy says, so, banyana baba 20, le bashimane baba 10, ne? And the rest of you guys will come and figure it out when we get back. I would figure it out when we get back at 0. I'm not doing that. Sharp. So, hafeta, barayara, fedita announcement. You guys can go sit down. Nah. Se hafi sa mudim kalata stulo kwa ko morao ko nekense ko teng, maybe nekele number 470, nobody knows. Kalata stulo ka se bia mo pele a ke fatso se bia mo pele, so that they count me in as they counting the 20 that they wanted. Ba counter tla ko nna. I don't know what number it was, maybe 11 or 12. So some girl complained, are so when o tsere stulo ko morao wa se bia me kare wena o tsena kae, because I can affect the number ya in any way. Happen now to lapisa. Guys, look, I've always been outspoken. I've always been this person that I am today. Okay, maybe, I don't know. But for the longest time, for as long as I remember, I've always been this person. So this girl says, hey, I get wena o number before na, whatever number that was, before me. Ulisa king. Sharp. This guy, the boyfriend, is sitting on my right hand side, right next to me, and he's just like angster ang level half at angster ha ke bona angster le ka modumedisa hi, okay, sharp on level it. So this guy thought I se hafi asisi mo remompieng ngwanyano ke le first year a o khone bara counter ha fa counter ka tse stulo sa ka ka ilo nna ko morao, waiting now for the next announcement. When they announced again, bus at Bridgewater Hotel and blah, blah, blah. So I ran to my dad. I'm like, hey, Chip, look, nek really res. Heban, kanjan, when I'm mora, res. I'll explain that story when I get home. In the meantime, res. Ari, tuamuri lenza runa, transporting. So as my dad decides, okay, like I'm transport, ke bona batho di student di ya direction e bona. I'm like, I like sa tsamaya le wena, stop. Ye mamo nna ke tsamaya le bana. How? Nana, re tla o fitlhisa ke re tla ba sala morao. I'm like, what if go baseng una discussion and then na a ke easy discussion. Okay. Then he took me to the shuttle spot. We get to the shuttle spot, ke motse drop me off. We're not tla sala morao, but without me. So my mom continued with whatever she was supposed to continue with sports complex. My dad, ashul ratamai. We get to half, then I get a room. So that's how I got to meet my boyfriend for the very first time. But that's not how we started dating. Ne? We just met like that. All right. So question number 7, wedding bells? Question mark. When should we start shopping? One question I don't know when you should start shopping. I really don't know. Wedding bells, he hints on it from time to time. You know, I'm gonna change your last name. Hey, what? Sometimes Peter misses him. You know, he does hint on that. But I really don't know. Now, question 8. Do you have kids? If so, how many? No, I do not have any children. Again, 0. I'm here for now. I'd love to, but I cannot chalete. And I want to chalete. So I'll come 2 million kabushu. I promise you I'll have a child 9 months from now. I'll be set. Question 9 says, would you consider specializing? Definitely. I'm really considering that. I hope it won't be too much on me. I've been in school and I'm tired of studying. I mean, my exam period. Yeah, my exit exam. I was so exhausted. I found myself with back problems because I was always sitting down. So I'll just see. I'll weigh the pros and the cons and see or fall into specialization or you don't. You know, I'll figure it out when I get there. Right. Question 10 says academia versus private practice. Bona, occupy the space. All of. If go for it. Now, for me, both. Definitely both. The reason is, you know what? I'd love to come back and be a lecturer. No? One, I'm cute. Kadlala. That's not the reason. I would really love to come back and shape young minds. And the reason I'm saying that is this. People who are in the dental world would know that we recently had a new system put into place. Yeah. What is this? BPE, ne? Care grading for periodontal patients. Now, in class, so I happened to ask at one point in time, Hore, why reberekisa system empia when the old one was working perfectly and the new one is very confusing one. I don't think it's user-friendly too. And 3, it's long for no particular reason. Now, the answer I got was that because everybody else is using it. My reaction, you should have seen me on the day. Every other person is using it. So Rona, because everybody else is. But no. O ka se be HOD, wa nkaraba so. Wa ntlhalanya. O ka se be professor, wa nkaraba so. O ka se be an intellect, wa nkaraba so. Au khone. Like, okay, tell me, hore, it helps with screening of patients, or for you to give better treatment to patients, or something. Mar or some or everybody else is using it. That negativity that day, or it was a very stupid answer to give a person. Because everybody uses it. No, darling. No. Give me something else. Answer me as the person who's educated. You know? Answer me as a person who understands why there should be this and that. These are the reasons why we end up with so many COVID cases, because people can come in and out, but when we have a big strain, we can't go to other countries. Such things, because everybody's doing it. Wow, really? Anyway, so let's go to question number 11. It says, why dentistry? Why not pharmacy, medicine, law, etc.? Okay. How did I become a dentist, by the way? Anyway, the reason why I chose dentistry is that, look, guys, growing up, I wanted to be a doctor, ne? Probably back in the day, I meant a medical professional or practitioner. And then I was taken Momedunsa for BSc, my first year, which I completed, yeah. And then during my BSc years, I took a walk to George Mokar. Ho tsamaya mo di corridor or the aisle. Ho sentse o feta go tswa steam sa o tshela tshwantse o daga like ke tla fia mo. And then as you're walking, there's water falling on you or dripping on you, and you're like, can't they dintang? And then honto tsamaya mo le saiteng ba beile lena ne mo fatshe, and it's almost as if it's these sluice parts where there's water coming from somewhere. It's a mayaka the trail. And then anymore. Of course, I know they're gonna wash them, but still, why would you be more than mates? Do you understand? So I felt that hospital for me would be a biohazard. Nengas cone. And then I went into the wards and I was not happy. And for me, because I really loved this institution, I was like, yo, definitely not that. And yeah, that's how dentistry became. I went to the dental hospital. I loved it. Kuri. I walked in and I fell in love. Like, I fell in love. Dental chairs, the cleanliness, the aura, everything. Like, I got there and that place spoke to me so much. Like, it was like, when you must end up here. So that's how I ended up doing dentistry. The pharmacies and the laws, well, I tried law, but hey, also because that was the only reason why I wanted to go do law. Mara hakinahana body article, what dissertations and what that's not for me. So yeah, that's how I did dentistry. And then the next question says, why so many degrees? Was it because you were not sure of what to study after matric? Guys, no. I knew what I wanted. I just did not find what I wanted when I wanted it. Ne? I realized late in life hore dilo tse ding di nyaka o itse batho ne or di nyaka o di patella. I know this might sound very offish, but it's true. So that's the reason why I have so many degrees. I refused to give up on my dream. And I told myself, hore, because this is what I want, by fire, by force, hell or high waters, I'm going to get it. And that's why I have but so many. So far, this is just the third. I mean, maybe it's many, I don't know. But yeah, that's why I have 2 degrees in the bag and going for the third one. 13. What would you consider your greatest achievement when it comes to your growth and character? Luna, let's put the questions about your so now since I introspect, okay, let's read it again. Like, let me see. I just wrote them down. Guys, 13 of 31. We're going to be here the whole night. Maybe I must continue next week. But we'll see how far we get. What would you consider your greatest achievement when it comes to growth and character? Yeah. Difficult one. But I think my greatest achievement is understanding how life works, understanding how death works, understanding the time we have on earth is borrowed, it's not ours. Like, I found it, like I said earlier on, I found it very, very, very difficult to wake up in the morning, to see people, to get back into the community. Like, it was difficult. Like, difficult. Yo, like nehopala, guys, nehopala, kuri, nehopala, shem. I always wanted to be by myself. Even Bay did not know what to do to me. My mom, like, nehopala, man, you know. So I think my greatest achievement with regards to my character and growth is the fact that God tested my strength, and I realized, in fact, I am quite strong. I realized, the things that I kept latching on and holding on to, without you, I could never be anything. Without you, I could never move forward. Without you, I don't have a life. I found myself in a situation, it almost like but swim out. Guess I just swim. And I managed to get to the shore. And when I got there, I was like, you know. So yeah, so I think the strength that I gathered, the confidence to then go out and not look like something was stripped out of me is one of the greatest achievements that I have right now. Growth wise, I got to learn, like, guys, nothing is guaranteed. Like, nothing at all is guaranteed. And I've learned to take punches as I go. Ne? Like, I've really gotten to a point where I learned, the punch what it's look, you shapaka more life, you shapaka more, and then you just you just there's a thing that you're looking for in front of you. There's a goal that you're looking towards in front of you. You don't stop simply because. Understand? You continue moving. Like you keep it moving. What am I? Like you walk. And the other thing is that I became strong enough to go back to God and say, look, order my steps. Look, I'm forth. I'm for this. Do you understand? As much as I'm angry at you, as much as I am fed up, like I'm up to here with you. But the mere fact that I can go back, kneel down, light a candle, whatever, and say, look, God, today, because and I'm taught that you go to a bigger being, you go to a supernatural power, I think that's also part of the achievements that I feel is great when it comes to my character, when it comes to my growth. Because I have been, yes, 2019 was just, I almost used some word, it might be seen as profanity, so I'm not going to use it. But yeah, I think that's my greatest achievement is understanding, like, getting myself out of situations, pushing through, even though I did not have that push in me to say, look, work, you know. Yeah. Number 14, what led you to pursue a career in health? I don't know. I really don't know. I honestly don't know. One, I have a degree in BSc, which is Bachelor of Sciences. I'm not a scientist at heart. I'm a scientist professionally, but at heart, definitely not. I'm not a like of mixing things and boof in my face like your Einsteins and no. I'm not that person. So I think, guys, for the longest time, and all these things, and to a certain degree, I also happen to, I don't know if this is the correct word, not like human beings a lot. They like if they are too much to deal with. And growing up, I realized that no, in fact, and you're very empathetic. I'm quite empathetic. I have a heart for people. So maybe that's the reason why I ended up pursuing a career in health, I would assume. But I really love helping people, and to a point where sometimes I think I'm selfish to me, in the sense that when somebody needs something or when somebody wants something, rather ke mofe than nakititime, because I'm also sometimes of the view that it's man, don't even stress about it, this person needs it more or whatever, something like that. So I think being an empath is really the reason why I ended up where I am today. Question 15. What are the 7 words that describe? Oh, guys, 7. Eh, nakit. Okay, 1, confident. 2, very beautiful. Let's little 7 words. Very beautiful is 1 word for this channel, for this video. Very beautiful, 1 word. Ne, please bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. I get. Let's say rakajiga, please. Ne, not for this video. Right. So 7. What did I start with? I'm confident. That's a definite. I'm very beautiful. I'm an empath. I'm a grateful person, very appreciative. Rather, let's say appreciative. You know, I'm a very appreciative person. Yo, talkative. We can't even. Like, Obana talkative. Bona. Jade, talkative. 1 thing. Right. That's number, I don't know. Okay. Number 5, I would say I don't define myself as a strong person. So let's just say weak. I'm a very weak, not weak, let's say fragile. Fragile is the word, right? I'm a fragile person. 6, I'm very shy. Guys, I'm a very shy person. I know it's difficult to believe it, ne? But I'm a very, very, very shy person. And lastly, I can say I'm a go-getter. Like, when I spirit is I give up, or spirit is I'm inferior to other people. Zero. I don't have such things in me. I can a bone of inferiority in me, ne? So definitely a go-getter. Number 16. Eri, do you think vulnerability is something to be feared or embraced? Okay, I feel vulnerability is something to be embraced. I don't think I should fear the fact that I'm vulnerable. Why? You know, the reason why I'm saying it's something to be embraced is that it teaches you how to know yourself. It teaches you how to appreciate yourself. You know, it teaches you to know and understand hore kuke ke mang. Wa ntlhaloganya ke dilo tse di feng tse eleng hore they give you a high, ke dilo tse di feng tse eleng hore they give you a low. Your vulnerability is almost something that you need to hold very dear to you, because it tells you when to take a step. It tells you when to be wary of what you're supposed to be doing. I also feel that being vulnerable is also a blessing, you know, in disguise. And the reason why I say it's a blessing is that it gives you the true sense and belonging that you really need. Now, why do I say that? People who are vulnerable are very glossy. Like, these are people that you like who need a nurturing. And that is when you get to learn, hore, when I am weak, this is what I need in my life, or this is what I need to at least assist me, you know, to carry me through. Now, if you're not vulnerable, when do you ever find yourself in a situation where you are willing to sit there and be like, yeah, no, I saw flames? You know, when you're not vulnerable, when do you get the time to analyze the strength that you have? When do you get the time to understand what, okay, growth yaka, it will from here to there in this period? What did I learn in between? You know, so that is why I feel that embrace it, but definitely don't fear it. All right, number 17. It says, if you were to change streams, what would you do out of health? Yo, guys, not to be honest, I wouldn't want to change my stream, but if I were to change, I'd go into business. Kirata chalet. Like, labani bilata katamun, kirata chalet. Guap, manapa, rata chalet, like a block. Like, I am like, money and me are just, you know, kirata chalet. I can't wait for a time where, like, kanyimbao, money in sport, inside a room, if you're there's the one. Do you understand? That's how much I love money. That's how much I adore money. Like, just like her, Kenya ko fitla to a point where kirina in a room full of people like that, chelete spotan there's the one, you know. So yeah, I'd go into business. Um, Number 18 says, how you wear your confidence every day inspires me. Have you always been the confident girl growing up? Uh, Ish guys, go moholo thata. But yes. I think I've always been a very confident person. But I'm not saying that there was a phase in my life. There was never a phase in my life where I was not vulnerable. No, there was. I think this happens with literally everyone. Um, there was a phase in my life where I wanted to fit in very much. Like Hekinani, this particular person, and they speak in a particular manner. I would leap ne, into that person's character, and I would then impersonate that person or imitate that person. For example, I had a Zulu friend growing up in primary school, and I used to speak proper Zulu. I'm not Zulu, far from it, even maybe. And I used to speak like proper Zulu. And Nale, the friend, we broke up because other people came into the picture, and it was just a whole mess. And yeah, then we weren't friends anymore. Then I was friends with a Tswana person. Okay, I never spoke proper Tswana in my whole life. Shem. Like, it's almost like accounting for me, Tswana. Or rather, vernacular. It's almost like accounting for me. Like, it's just, hey, wow, difficult. So, yeah, I would um, now start speaking in the same accent as that person, you know. So I've had times where I would want to fit in so much, and I grew out of it, you know. When I branched out as myself, when I branched out as Cookie, it was beautiful. It was almost like I became a swan. So yeah, it was almost as if I became a swan. Like I became confident. I became me. Like I really became me. I was comfortable in my skin. You know, I was comfortable with the fact it was okay. For me, it was a compliment. You know, sometimes people say and you're like, eh, sorry. Kenya go bali cheekbone. Eh, marama. Anyway, so yeah, I was confident, yes, but there was a part in my life growing up where I needed to fit in so much that I happened to then become somebody else who was not me. And then when I realized that I mara pathy I ain't caught off at man, you know, you always go back to being who and what you're supposed to be. The universe works like that. So yeah, when the universe decided already you can now start being you, I then, you know, restructured my life, and I became this confident person in who I am, in my skin and whatnot. And I stopped wanting to fit in, and I stopped speaking Zulu. So yeah, I mean, at times growing up, you find yourself, I get it, you know, growing up, it's the phase where you are shaped ne, as a human being, and then make mistakes and whatnot, but still find yourself eventually. So I was confident, but from time to time, that confidence would disappear, then come back, then disappear, then come back. But yeah. Number 19 says, what's your favorite color and food? Guys, Akina, I don't know if favorite food is also considered happy food, ne? But my happy food, kebab, chakalaka, and braai vlees. And it's about steak, it's like your chicken dust, and no, I don't like that. That doesn't taste good. Kenyaga says brailwing, kamo jarate, kamo That is, you know, my mom even knows me. If I call her and I say, look, I'm coming home tomorrow. Yo, Bona, I'm gonna get there, kakara and get my happy food. If that counts as favorite food, okay. If that doesn't count, it means I don't have as of yet. I don't think there's one particular thing that, you know, because also Bay has gotten into now the gist of knowing what my happy food is. And come on, where's it crave something? Says someone I think an auto to apela papa lena makabushune baby. Then I'd smile and I'd be like, yeah. All right, favorite color. I think Green. I have a lot of green clothes and a lot of white clothes. And I would assume, because I lean more towards that color, it might be my color of choice or my favorite color. I really don't know, guys. I have no idea what my favorite color is. But green is a color of prosperity. And I started loving green clothes when I saw that my mom's closet was filled with green clothes. And they looked very nice on her. And I would try them on and they'd look very nice on me as well. So I was like, okay, maybe let's start buying green clothes. But honestly, I don't know if I have a favorite color, or I really honestly I get number 20. This question haunts me. What is your biggest accomplishment thus far? So far, my biggest accomplishment is that maybe that I'm able to follow my dreams, or I'm about to reach the biggest thing that I wanted to be in a few months' time. Maybe that would be my biggest accomplishment by the end of the year. But for now, my biggest accomplishment is that I refused to give up. Yeah, must be that. I refused to give up. Life threw shots at me, and I was like, Shem, bulletproofed. Threw lemons, and I was like, lemons taste good. And then it threw apples, which were very hard, and I was like, try again, you know. So I think that's my biggest accomplishment, the fact that I refused to give up. And saying this, guys, give like a little tear, ne? Because a lot of the things that are happening to me right now tie up to the loss of my dad. Like every time Kira something, I take it back there. I was meant to stop everything, my life, my living, my everything. And for some odd reason, I still find myself going and going and going and going. So yeah, that's it. Number 21. As a friend, how would you describe yourself? Interesting question. So, guys, nna ke selfish. Ne. Ka dilo tsaka, le ka nna. Like I'm a very selfish person. Very, very selfish empath. I had to bring that back, lest we forget. Okay, how do I describe myself as a friend? I've been burnt once too many times. So, as a friend, I describe myself as a person who loves reciprocation. Love it. Like home, give and take situations. I love that. If you're going to give me a certain energy, I'll give it back. It's as simple as that. And I say it's as simple as that in the sense, it can't be that I give and don't get. Do you understand? You can't always be the receiver and not the giver when you're in a relationship with me, whether it be friendship, whether it be a romantic relationship or whatever. It can't work like that. I show up for people who show up for me, you know. I do for people who do for me. It's only fair. Honestly, it's literally just only fair that we do it like that. And if I happen to get vibes from you as my friend, I retract, I hold back, and then I give you space to do whatever. Look, I don't like confrontations, ne? Because ke matepe, guys. Oh, I'm such a baby. Ke matepe. So if I happen to confront you, chances are I'll be all teary and I'll cry and I'll be gooey. And no, let's not do that. So life has taught me that they put you here, and then there are those that are put here. And if you find yourself in a situation you are put here, and wena u feel gore o deserve go ba mo, you don't belong in that friendship, you don't belong in that relationship. Do you understand? Because you feel the standards are not being met. Ne? So I always feel that if my standards are not being met, because the standard ke kgone ho meet, ne? And that is something I am sure about 100% confidently, so I can tell you my standards I can meet. But if I can't meet the standards as my friend, it means you don't deserve me, or it means there's something wrong that needs to be changed. And if we can't change that, let me be. But I'm at a level that I deserve. Ne? The other thing is that with me being your friend, look, I put out, and I've gotten to a point in my life where I realized, Hore, I'm I'm a people's person, really, and I have people that I hold very dear to my heart around me, ne? And I've also learned Hore, people play different roles in people's lives. People play different roles in people's lives. The reason why I'm saying that is that um, I have people around me who don't like going out. I love going out. On days when I feel like being a homebody, and when I'm a homebody, then you're my person, you know? On days when I feel like with someone, and then there's a particular person who I know for a fact, ha mindy, then that person fits that criteria. And on days when I feel that I want to be doing this with whoever, and that person fits that criteria, that's where um, our components of life meet. Do you understand? It's okay to have just one friend, it's fine, honestly. But if you like me and you have different components that you want to fill into your whole life, then it's okay to have a bit more. But the essence is that people have different roles in your life. Luena, as a person, you need to understand that I have a certain role in somebody's life. You can't be doing all the roles. Let's say let's say how. Do you understand? It becomes very difficult when you want to do other people's roles because you're now stepping out of your character and doing something different. So yeah, as a friend, I would say I'm one person, I reciprocate. You give me this energy, I give it back. You don't give it, Linda, I take mine away and I keep it to myself or give it to somebody else who deserves it. And the reason why I'm saying there are different roles for different people in your life, especially your friends, is that I don't want to find myself in a situation where Kenya ko ya maraba start for one. Now, I can maraba start. I tell maybe a friend of mine, okay, it's in hore hara to tsamaya. Wa ntlhaloganya? Ke a mo tseya. Ke re arema, come maraba guys, ra phakisa. We walk for long, long hours sometimes looking for something gray, and you have to go shop to shop to shop to shop to shop to shop. And you take a person who does not like walking. Next thing, after 3 shops, the person is irritable. From irritable, they angry at everyone, and everyone includes you or me in this case. They angry at everyone, and and it's not very pleasant. Do you understand? It's not a pleasant feeling for that person and yourself because now you are being rushed. That person is no longer feeling okay with being at that particular area and whatnot. So you need to understand your friends. You need to know, okay, oh, we can do this and this together. Or we can do this and this together. Or we can do this and this together. Now, the other thing is, nah, I'm very selfish. I said, nah, I was always this person where I'd get jealous. If I see my friend with somebody else, I'd be like, ugh, oh yeah, guy, oh, wabon. Until I realized, oh no, man, but kugi, hona ndilo tse ding tse ileng hore a se portion ya hao in life, baby girl. And ke portion ya motho. So let that person do that. Wena, o tlatla hele nako ya hao, wa ntlhalohanya. Hele nako ya hao ya ho ira your things that you feel ke di portions tsa hao in life. Then you come in and you're like, okay, friendship continues. And that's when I started realizing, well, okay, that is then why there's such a thing, different components in your life are done by different people or are completed by different people. So that's the type of friend I am, a very selfish one. But now I'm curbing it, I'm curbing it a bit. Like the selfishness, that part, whoever, I'm like, oh dear God, not again. I'm curbing it bit by bit. I'm getting rid of it so that you don't find yourself I don't find myself in a situation where I'm hurt or no, let's not do that. Guys, we move. All right. Okay. Question 22. It says, if you could travel anywhere right now, where would you go? The question says anywhere, not anywhere on earth. Anywhere. Nah. I'd go to heaven and visit my dad. That is exactly where I would go right now. For him to give me one of those suffocating hugs he used to give me, and then give me like nankira so I don't care. And then Klabara celebrate my graduation at like hug me and kiss me. I'm like, yo, we're in public and soon happy like you're my child. You don't want to tell when to kiss, you don't want to tell when to hug you, Yeah, that guy used to stick on me like a plague, bro. Like he was like a leopard. Like I was disease. So yeah, that's where I would go right now. If I had to travel anywhere really. I miss him a lot. But hey. Number 23. Who inspires your fashion sense? Cause wow, you look good in every outfit you rock. Darlings. Nah. I inspire my own dress sense. I inspire my own fashion sense. I inspire my own looks. I get to shopong. Sometimes I don't even buy an outfit. I go straight there and I buy one item and I'm like, hey, Cookie, where now? What did you buy? Oh, yeah, parakang. And then eventually, sometimes I would buy clothes, and then keep them for months on months on months up until I figure it out. Like really figure it out. Today we rock us all this thing, So I'm the person that inspires my fashion sense. And thank you for saying, because wow, you look good in every outfit you rock. Thank you, darling. Number 24. Not a very, very friendly question. And I don't think I'll reveal my age to you people, by the way. It says here, how old are you? And it continues to say, also give a little glimpse of your background. Where are you from? What motivates you in life? All right, how old am I? You guys can take a wild guess while we edit. The lowest I've had this year alone is that I look 16. I don't believe it. And the other person said to me, okay. Oh, no, the person started off by saying, when I said I'm doing my 3rd degree, she's like, wayak. Like, eh. And this is a child, 2000. Some loose screws sometimes. So this person says, wayak. I'm like, no, really, actually, I really am doing my 3rd degree. I'm even, nearing the end of it. And this person, and umbita says Jade, how was this Jade? I'm like, sweetie, yes, that's true. And then she's like, okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Because you're in tertiary and you claim you've been here for quite some time, let's just say unani 24. I'm like, no, I'm not 24 years old. And then she's like, thing is, you look 18. Now, kuisa kodim. So please, let's leave it at that. Unani 24 efalamo. And I'm there like, how? Biang. This thing keeps holding on my shirt. But anyway. And I'm there like, Biang, I don't know. Because you don't look that age. I'm like, but I am that age, But anyway. A little glimpse into your background. Guys, I'm from Soshane. I'm a born and bred Praetorian. Yes, we exist. At one point, there was a person who said to me, when I said I was born and bred in Pretoria, she's like, no, how can I? But what about from somewhere? And I'm like, somewhere where, honey? No. We are born here, bred here. Simple, So I'm from Sosha. A glimpse of my background. I went to primary school in Lodium. I started first kindergarten there, preschool. That's what we call it. Preschool in Lodium, and then I did my primary schooling there as well, and my high schooling as well. I did it there, and yeah, then I decided, look, I wanted to further my studies and whatnot. And one thing that I like about my parents was always that thing. After my first degree, I said to them, I want to continue studying, and they're like, I wanna be, I wanna cut, I wanna puri. Why would you stress yourself? Go back to school. And I did. Second degree in the bag. My mom, what do you wanna do? I'm like, I wanna go into BDS because I love it. Okay, go back to school. So yeah, that's the little about me and my academia. What motivates me in life is, one, I need to make this girl proud. Ne? I really, really need to make this girl proud. And my pride comes in me attaining my goals. My pride comes in me achieving what I set myself to achieve. What I set myself on is what would really, really make me proud. And another thing is, I really, really want to make my mother proud, my father proud, and people who really look up to me. Like, guys, I'm a people's pleaser whenever I choose to be a people's pleaser. So, but it's mostly centered around people who are very close to me, my family and myself. So yeah, that's what motivates me in life, is that there are people looking up to me, and then there's me who's looking up to me. And I want to make these people proud, and I want these people to have that thing ya hore le he ba bolela ka nna e nne e le hore o ra se siamang. There's a boy who's my sibling number 2. When I brags severe, just like his father brags severe, like his mom brags. So I love that. Wow, this thing, it's very persistent at doing this. So I love that. And yeah, even when I speak about myself, like in Anufula sometimes, Lena, Liramang overachiever. Oh, wow, yes. So yeah, that's the reason. That's what really, really motivates me in life. Number 25. I feel like I don't remember the music. And then number 46. I feel like I'm those people right now. So yeah, number 25. What BSc did you major in? I majored in biochemistry and physiology. Number 26. What is your biggest fear in life? I happen to have lived through my biggest fear in life, and I'm still living through my biggest fear in life. My biggest fear, guys, is losing people I love permanently. Like, that thing, it scared me, it scarred me, it just, it caused me so much damage. So much damage that I don't think I can heal from it. It's almost like condition e leng hore you can't come back from it. Like o tsene man, like ha o sana ho reng wa ntlhalohanya. So yeah, that's my biggest fear. And right now, because I lost my favorite person, my closest friend, the one person who knew my fragility, the one person who knew my pain, kore ntatola nna itse gore nna ngwanaka o sensitive and wa acta o kare o strong mo ntle shem. The thought that one day, maybe 30 years from now, it will be my mom, it gives me chills. Like it, and it's something e leng hore I hardly ever think about ne. But whenever that thought crosses my mind, ke a kgatsela, ke a painelwa, like and not just her, terminally losing my boyfriend as well, with the hope that by that time it'll be my husband. But I saw how bad an impact it is on people losing their spouses. It's horrible. Like, guys, how bad? Nah, take it from me, it's bad. Sharing a bed every day with this person, jokes, hugs, kisses, literally sharing everything life has to offer with this person. All of a sudden, bam, they're gone. And you're like, eh, what do we do? So yeah, that's my biggest fear. Okay, so these three questions, 26, 27, and 28, they're from one person. So I just had to split them up so that I don't find myself in a situation where I don't answer some of the questions, or one, or whatever. So it says, number 27, why do you love your boyfriend the way you do? You? What a wow. So you guys ask me such things. Huh? Anyway, why do I love my boyfriend the way I do? Because one rat, guys. Like, that guy loves me. Like, he really, really loves me. But over and above, I don't know. Why do you love people? Like, why? Why Barata? Anyway, Andile understands me. Andile treats me well. He really gets me. Ne? He's not perfect. He's close to perfection. He's not perfect, but he's close to perfection. If he could tweak here and there, perfect stuff. But Andile loves me. Andile adores me. Andile gets me. Like, he really gets who mang. Andile understands who him. Get attention. Get this, get that. He's also ne, almost like my dad. When they tell you daughters fall in love with their fathers and then sons fall in love with their mothers, most of the time, because that guy, Papaka was one person, ne? We do grocery shopping together. Or yena antlisetse grocery mo sekolong because he knew rakira to cook. Or I don't do hard labor at all. I would watch this man carrying 10,000 bags. Nna ke tshwere handbag. Because nna ke princess motseng all. Why? I'm gonna carry stuff. Menwana I say cook. Small as they are, I say cook. Ne? So Andile is also that person wa hore he ke tsamaile le ena or ke moshile ke tsamaile ke le one, I don't carry stuff. Like, my boyfriend knows hore bona nna tshira ka ikuki le ena o tla o botsa hore nna tshira ka ikuki. My dad was one person who'd always want to make my life easy. Ke tla ba ke kropa, like mop, ne? Growing up. And then he'd come back from wherever, like maybe work on Saturday. Ha tsa ena ha mpona ke le busy ka mopo. O tla ba latile fan, a connectile le di extension, a itshwara so. Ke mmotsa hore ke di wetsang. A re ko nna ke re wena o tshasa metsi nna ka omisa. Like, lantlalwane, do you understand why I'm saying this? I get wena o tshasa metsi nna ka omisa. Basically, it means I'm trying to make your life easier. Why since o nne mo o bereke o le one when I'm around? And that is Andile for me. But usually ha ke shopping for clothes, ha tsamaile nna ne ka lapisa. We've already established that. So I'd come back, ke mmotsa hore ke feta Ingwe. There's a place there. Ke feta Ingwe. I'm gonna be on main gate soon. He'd be like, okay, let me come get you, because I'm sure you're carrying stuff. Mind you, ke motletse mo ke lo shopping ke lo one. Ke tla ke tlo tse go gating because I know you're carrying stuff. Some days I won't even be carrying anything. And I call him more like ke batla tsama ke lo one. I get bored mo tseleng. Okay, ke tla be. Ke tla ke tlo walk alone. Do you understand? On days when I'm fragile and it's going to be fine. The one thing he does not know how to do, my man, it almost looks as though he wants to cry with me. when I'm sick. I don't know, am I supposed to teach him or because sometimes when I'm sick, I want him around. Yeah, na halwala, around. That's the thing. So I think sometimes unahana hore le nna ke nyake batho, but no, nna yena ka monyaka. Ba bang maybe ke banyaka, mara nna yena ka monyaka. So yeah. So that's the reason why I love him so much. Like this guy, I'm appreciate him. He really, really loves me. He really, really gets me. Like gets me. I'd be shouting at someone. You know, at first when we started dating, I used to annoy him a lot because I'd get into arguments with people because na out nonsense or expect or get to man. I get type here. We are rough to slap back. I give you the other check. No, you slap, I slap back. Nike an eye for an eye. Ne? Please, let's get it right. So I'd get into an argument with someone or something like that, and he'd feel like, yo, when I get someone, Peter, hey, what, you're so much like my mom. Little did you know, 11 years later, you know? So yeah, he really gets me and he understands me. He knows how to calm me down. I wonder if there's one person that calms my storms, it's that guy. And then by calm my storms, I mean there are days when he says, no, take it easy. You know, take it easy, baby. It's going to be fine. Like for example, maybe during a test and I'm frantic and I feel like, oh wow, I can't do this, blah blah blah, and I'm stressing. He'd be the one that says, look, calm down. Oh, smart man. Why you stress? You're intelligent. Sit there, study those books, open them. Mama or feeling mama or doctor and whatnot. And he does it so gracefully. You know, he does it because wabahatla, not because he's forced to do it. He does it because he wants to do it. And that for me is amazing. You know, for somebody to do something because they want to do it, not because they feel obligated or whatever. No. He does it because he supports me a lot. Like a cheerleader, you know, after losing that cheerleader that was my dad, this guy just stepped up like 10,000 steps ahead. I'm like, wow, you know. So yeah, he's an amazing man. He really is an amazing man, and I really love him for that. I know he's gonna be watching this, and I'm not just saying that for camera. I think he knows as well because I tell him a lot. When I'm out on papa, you know. And the other thing that I love about him is that Andila knows, if I get into an argument with someone and I don't give you a piece of my mind, the anger now falls onto him. So usually, if I get into something with someone and I be like, and I tell him, out. Gabadia is you know. And I really appreciate that. The reason is I don't want somebody who's gonna tweak my personality so much more. I'm not comfortable and I'm not myself. So with that guy, I'm myself, Shem. Bona, come hell or high waters, I know what he's got my back. And I always tell him, you know, at one point in time, we were thin when we started dating. And as we grew up, like a tomaba muscular, tomaba hank, so every time he says, and now he wants to lose weight, I'm like, get the so when you know, now hats in yeah, no, jalufi chira Jade, sorry, jalufi mota Jade uteng, and then people like just scatter, you know, away from me. Now imagine if he's thin and people are like, aringo, we can't have that. So yeah, that's about it. Number 28. It says here, last question from this particular person. I said at first, the 3 questions are from one person. It says also, what is your expectation of him and your relationship? Guys, I expect a lot, yes? Like, I expect a lot. I expect him to treat me like glass. You can't put it together, so don't break me. I expect him to understand I'm fragile. I expect him to hold me to the highest regard. I expect him to understand that I'll always respect him, and I want it back. I expect him to know and understand hore nna motho wa ka ke motho mo so. This is what makes her tick, and then this is what does not. I expect him to know and to understand hore when this comes up, this is what we're supposed to do. Like, to understand me, I expect him to understand hore we sharing this life na lena. Ha ke ba wrong, tell me. Like mpotse or our flop wena. Don't do that. Ne? Because sometimes sometimes it's very difficult. I mean, you know. I expect him to be that person that I look up to. I expect him to be the order. Kamu our small family. Like one color. I expect him to be the muscle here in our relationship. And I say this because, I love seeing him like a kukuledi low. It's cute, man. I fancy that, And I always expect hore. One thing I can't take is a no from him. Yo, guys. Hakarin. Like give something and then out of it shatters me like a lot, no? So I expect him to understand hore no ya hai for na. I'm monate, it's bad. And I get rati. I get appreciate it. Wow. I get rati. I get appreciate it. And I don't want to know. And I expect him to understand her weakness is this and that. And then therefore, ila weakness, how do I come and combat that weakness and make it a strong point? And what do I expect from this relationship? But we all know. I expect it to last forever. Le ha ke tloga mo kere ya go mo ano ya nna bodara. He go bodari. Do you understand? But yeah, I expect it to last. It has been lasting for the longest time. And I expect us to always, 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 always love each other, adore each other, respect each other, smother each other with love. Like the whole time. Number 29. We're almost done. It says, what did you want to do career-wise in primary level or before you became set on dentistry? La hopola ko preschool ho the graduation, I get. So now, during my preschool graduation, during my speech, I said, when I grow up, I want to be a doctor. I was still small like that, a tiny bit of a human being. So I've always known that I wanted to go into health growing up. And for some reason, I find it as a calling because I never changed. Sometimes we tend to think, when I grow up, I want to be a doctor, and they end up being a doctor. It's just because they said that when they were young. I don't think so. Because some of them say, when I grow up, I want to be a doctor, because by the doctor, as a good profession growing up. Later in life, they're like, no, Marna, okaraki prefer engineering, or okaraki prefer the sciences, or whatever, and you happen to think, oh, maybe it was just childhood talk. For me, apparently, it was not just childhood talk. It was actually what I really, really wanted to become. And here we are, almost there. Number 13. What is your all-time favorite flavor? My 2000 flavor, guys. You know me. Again, Hashem, I don't know. I really don't know. And this is the person that I said earlier on, what do you mean? And she just said, whatever, man, Sis Jade, whatever you eat and you're like, this is my favorite things. I don't have. I don't think I have. Usually when I find something nice, I'll fixate on it, have it, and then eventually ntlapele. And I'll have it like hanyan and then move over to the next thing. I don't have like an all-time favorite thing that I say, look, this is, but I'm big on watermelon if that counts. And mangoes if that counts. Number 31, last but not least. It says, what is your favorite music genre and why? Wow, okay. I think, one, this question was inspired by the fact that I posted something on Instagram and on Facebook, and I happened to have people tell me, "Utlwela music almost." And I'm like, "Hey, man, hey." And then because I have a small nail business, the people that come to my room and then ke ba ira manala, they're always like, "Mara wena dipina tse a di o tshwanele." And I'm there like, "Bathong, Biang, why this Antoinette? Who writing?" You know. But my favorite music and genre, my music genre, sorry, is reggae, roots reggae, through and through. And the reason is this is music that I was taught by my dad. My dad was Rastane, guys. So Baba ka napila outla reggae. And I happen to learn, love, and live reggae. Right? So every time I would go late, he'd sing for me. We dance together, and I happen to love that life. You know, my mom is Christian, my mom is Catholic, ne? So there's um connection or a merging, not connection. Sorry, that's probably a poor choice of a word. There's connection. Hey, I'm doing it again. I'm sorry. There's a merging, ne, between the two people. There was Catholic, and then there is Catholic, and then there was Rasta. So because I spent more time with my dad, I leaned more towards the Rasta side. So yeah, it's reggae, definitely roots reggae. My favorite person was roots reggae, Peter Tosh, because that's who we used to listen to more often than not. And that's the person Luno, I'd play Peter Tosh like the whole day, and he's me, I am him, and the likes, you know. Yeah, so that's the reason why I love reggae. It's because of my dad. And most of what I am was shaped by that man, to be honest with you guys. Academics, definitely my mom. My mom is very big on books and school and all that. And then business, my dad, oh, big on that. But the music that I listen to, some of my characters, most of who and what I am was shaped by my dad. Because Nerpela together for the longest time, Repela really too. And some of the things that I don't eat, it's mostly because that man would like literally buy them every day, and my mom would then join in, and then they'd start buying the same thing every day for me because I happened to say I liked it, and then eventually got it and whatnot. But yeah, most of how I am and what I am really is my dad, you know. So yeah, we've come to the end of the Q&A session with your favorite gorgeous doctor, Jade, and that is me. Thank you so much for watching. Let's do it again next week when we post our next video. I don't know what my next topic is. I'm always gambling this thing of life through, you know. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for subscribing again. And to the first timers, really guys, I really thank you and welcome to my channel. For those of you who had been subscribing, for those of you who've been singing and daunting me, saying, "Look, Renyaka YouTube channel," guys, thank you so much for being my fans. Thank you so much for being my cheerleaders, really. Thank you so much for looking up to me, appreciating me, and whatnot, and wanting me to share more of who I am with you guys. I really love you guys. Bye, darlings. I'll see you again in the next video. Much love.